guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Devyani and I make a lot of informational videos about living and studying in the UK. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to apply for a Schengen visa from the UK. So this is going to be a very detailed video where I'm going to share the letter I got from my company in detail, the cover letter, the mistakes I made. So this year I was very lucky that I got to travel to over 10 countries across Europe and I applied for a Schengen visa twice, first with Italy and then with Spain. So I have different experiences with both of these things and I've learned from my mistakes and I'm going to share everything with you. But before we begin, let me give you like a small disclaimer, okay? So the visa I got from Italy was only for 45 days and then I learned from my mistakes and applied again for Spain, but that I got for 3 months. The reason I got it for 3 months is my passport is expiring soon. But for all my friends who have used the same strategy, have got visa up to 6 months with with VFS or BLS. So make sure you watch this video until the end. And if you want to skip to any specific time, like if you want to just know about cover letters or just know about my appointment experience, you can directly skip to that because I've added all the timestamps in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So firstly, I'm going to talk about what is a Schengen visa, then which country you should apply to, then how to find appointments, and I'm going to tell you the best hack because finding appointments is so hard, especially if you're living in London. Then all the documents required, I'm going to go in extreme detail of what is required. Then the bookings, what is like real bookings you need to show, fake bookings to get a longer appointment, then cover letter format, the day of my appointment and the processing timings. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment below if you already got a Schengen visa, of which country did you apply to and how long did you get it for. And now let us begin. So first let us understand what is a Schengen visa in the first place. So everybody who is living in the UK who has an Indian passport or an international passport other than maybe UK, US and the strong ones need a permit or a visa to enter the European area. So these are the countries in the European area. We have Belgium, we have Hungary, we have Netherlands. So to enter there, you need a Schengen visa. So if you can see here, France, Germany and Spain I've highlighted in a different way because if you want to apply to any of these countries, you can apply through the VFS website. But for France and Germany, you can apply through TLS contact and Spain is from BLS. So even though you apply from any of these countries, even if for example you get a Spain visa from BLS, it is applicable that you can travel to any country across Europe who fall in the Schengen area without a problem. So these are just different providers, but the visa you get is essentially the same, is what you need to consider. The second thing you need to understand is which country you want to apply to. So for example, if you want to go to Portugal, it is better if you apply through Portugal, it's like the first point of entry. If you, for example, want to go to Italy, it's better you apply through VFS Italy, something like that. But if you don't find an appointment to a specific country, you can also show kind of fake bookings and get, to the country you want to. For example, if you want to go to Belgium and you get an appointment for Portugal, you show that the first point of entry is Portugal and after that you're going to Belgium. But you can book cancelable tickets for Portugal and you never go, but you can directly enter Belgium. That's also fine, but not very ethical. So I would say try to find the country which you really want to go to. Another thing you need to know about VFS is, although like VFS is one website, every country has many domains under it. For example, if you want to go to Belgium, you say VFS Belgium. So they have like a different website where you have to register with your email, your new passport, and you have to verify that. Then for Greece, there's a different website where you have to put another new email, password. So it's like not a one-stop, like where you just log into VFS and then you see all appointments there. That is not the case. So make sure that you register beforehand to any country you want to go to. So now let us talk about booking your visa appointment. So finding an appointment in UK is so hard, especially in the summers and during peak time, that because there are so many websites, it's very hard for you to check as well. Like for example, there's an opening in Italy, but you haven't really made an account for Italy and you have only made an account for Greece. So you would never know. And how do you even check? There's so many countries, so many appointments coming and going every second. It's just crazy. So I have a hack for you. So there is a bot on Telegram. So if you don't know what Telegram is, it's just like a chat box, okay? Basically, you can say something like WhatsApp, but it has like external links. So as you can see, there are 44,000 very smart people who are on this Telegram bot, where every time there's a new appointment, it is updated there, and then immediately you can go and book out. So for somebody who's not on this and they're struggling to find this appointments, that's because all of these people have taken the appointments. So I got both of my appointments easily because of this bot. So I used to check it every day. I had my notifications open, so every time it came, I was like boom, like I had an account and like logged in and I got an appointment. So it was pretty much quite easy to get an appointment for me in London. But yeah, a lot of people do struggle. So let us look at how to do that. So if you want to find which appointments are available, there is this bot called the Appointment Tracker, UK, Ireland, VFS, BFS and TLS. So this is a monitoring unit. So every time there is a slot open, it says, okay, for example, on this date, it says, okay, there's a slot available for 27th September. There's a slot available for 27th September again for Italy. Netherlands, in Birmingham, there's a slot available on 1st of August, you know, for Finland, for Italy, for different places. So for example, there is a slot open for Norway, and you click on this link and you open. So you will immediately be taken to the Norway appointment link. So if you can see here, VFS Global GBRE and NOR. So this is the Norway link. So again, as I mentioned before, every country has their own dedicated website. So because I don't have an account for Norway, I would say like I don't have an account and I will create one. So let's just make an account. So as you can see, I've completed my registration. So when I go on Gmail, I will get an email from them and I would say activate account and activation successful. Then I can create my, I can just log into my account. And you have to manually type in. So if you want to keep like a caps, if you put some capital letter, or if you want these signs, you find it here, or if you want, you can just type it out here. So now that I've added in my email ID and my password, all I do is sign in. And I say start new booking. And here I can see which appointment centers are available. So if I say London, for example, then I go to appointment category. So I would say Schengen visa C, because I don't want a long term. And then I would say a tourist visa. So yes, there is a slot available on the 22nd of August. So I just go here and I fill in my details. Put my email ID. Save. So here we need to pay a service fee of £23 to book an appointment with Norway. So this is not the case for all countries. So I think some countries are free. Italy, I think I paid a similar amount. Even BLS, I applied for Spain, I also paid a similar amount. But there are a few which are free. I think Greece is free. So you need to check that individually. But at this point, you know, just getting an appointment is a big deal itself. So let's just stick to that. Then I go ahead and I choose my appointment date. So I have two dates available, which is the 22nd of August and the 28th of August. So for example, I choose the date as 22nd, and then whatever time is available, I click on that. And yeah, this is the visa fee. I accept, and then I say pay online. And that's when my visa appointment is booked. Now that you have successfully booked your appointment, paid your visa fees and everything like that, now you have to start preparing your documents for the appointment. So here you have a document checklist. Okay, so this is generic checklist which is applicable like for BLS and also for VFS, like Italy and Spain. I had the same like kind of checklist. So yeah, you just have to take everything like that. But just as a heads up, I'm going to talk about everything in this checklist, but I'm also combining a few things in the sense that when I made a cover letter for Italy, which was my first appointment, I made a few mistakes because of which I got a visa for a smaller duration. But in Spain, I fixed that. So even though I'm mostly going to be talking about VFS Italy in this video, some examples I'm going to take from Spain which worked out well for me, and the format. So the cover letter format is the same. like many things are pretty much the same, but you have to make sure that you have the right format. So just as a heads up, again, a bit of examples from Italy, a bit of examples from Spain, but you can just it's the perfect way to go. So the very first thing you would need in a visa application is a visa application form. So when you fill, the visa application and everything, when you get an appointment, you don't get any form that you have to download. So you have to find and download this form from Google. So this is what the form looks like Consulate General of Italy in London. So you can find specific ones, like for example, if you're applying through Sweden, like maybe Sweden a visa form. If not, you can also use a generic one, which is you can find on Google very easily. I've also added the link in the description box below if you find that. But I luckily found a one for Italy. So here are the details: my last name at birth ko per day, my first name or given name. So on your passport, if you have your given name as two names, like for example Devyani Sameer, which is my father's name, you put that. But if not, you just put your only name, so exactly what is on your passport, then your date of birth, place of birth, current nationality, then your sex, your status. So even for this form, you can either fill it digitally using the text feature or also can fill it manually using a pen. It is on you, both are acceptable. Then you put in your parental authority, so this doesn't count. Then your national identity number, which is your BRP number. Then which of passport do you have? Ordinary passport. Then your passport number, date of issue, valid until, and which country it has been issued by. Then personal data of family member who is in UK. So if you're specifically visiting somebody or a friend or a family who is living in the UK and they have given you like an invitation letter, then you can put those details. But I would say try to avoid that, because when somebody is inviting you, they have a lot of things to prove. That they have to prove their employment, their address, your relation to them, like a lot of things. So it's better to just do it on your own and just leave this area blank. So 17 and 18 is completely blank. 19 is your UK address. So you put your entire address with your flat number, postcode, your email ID and your mobile number. So here make sure you add like +44 and then your mobile number or whatever it is. Then your current job. So if you're a student, you can add in student, but I was working, so I was a marketing coordinator. Then my company address, they also want the phone number. So that is like everything, like address and phone number. Then my purpose of travel, which is tourism, and additional information. So I was like, okay, I want to visit these countries, I mean these cities in Italy, and later I also want to visit Venice and Florence. So here in number 25, the main destination and other destinations you want to go to. So here I have, like in my Italy visa, I showed that I only want to go to Italy, so I've added Italy. But in Spain, I was actually going to go to Spain also, Denmark also, Portugal as well. So here I've added Spain, Portugal and Denmark. Spain, Portugal, Denmark, or Spain or Denmark, or whatever you want, you can add all of those countries you are visiting here. In number 26, whichever country you are applying to. For example, I'm applying to VFS Italy, then the first point of entry will be Italy. If I'm applying to VFS Greece, I would say the first point of entry is Greece, even though if it might not be, but you write that on the application. The number 27 is the most important, is which number, how many numbers of entries you want. So if you say single entry, that means you might get a visa, but you cannot like go again on the same visa. Like if you go once and you come back to the UK, you can't go again. But with multiple entries on the same visa, in that amount of time, you can go multiple times. So with my Italy visa, I think I visited like 3-4 countries, and then my Spain visa, again I visited like 3-4-5 countries. So that was a multi-entry. So that is very important, and you make sure you tick it right. And then if you have applied for a Schengen visa before, in the past 3 years, you also have to write like the date when they collected your fingerprint. So basically the date of your appointment and your visa sticker number. So if you don't know what a visa sticker number is, it's this number. So on your visa, you can see like this. So you have to just put in that, and that you can add here. Then entry country of your final destination. So basically after you travel, you're going to come back to the UK. So you can say you're going to come back to London or United Kingdom, then your BRP start date and end date. So here your accommodation is very important. So again, before you fill in your form, you also kind of need to make sure like what dates are you going on, where are you going to be staying or something like that, because you also have to make your cover letter. But I'm going to talk about accommodation later, but yeah. So here you put in your accommodation name, the address and also the phone number. So if you're doing through booking.com, for example, then you add in the, the name. There only you can find the address. Let me just show you actually how to do that. So if I say booking.com, and where are we going? For example, we are going to Spain, Mallorca. Oh wow, I really want to go to Mallorca. Anyway, let's go to Spain, and if you go to like Hotel Palacio Garden, then you put that name first, and here is the address. So you just copy that and paste. And if you try to find a phone number, if you can, if not, just say not available, or that's also fine. Or you can add it like a phone email address, but mostly if you put like, go here, just say like and go on Google Mallorca contact. So mostly you will find a phone number. So that's what you can do and put that in. Then name of an address of the inviting company. So nobody's inviting you to be there. It's a tourist thing. So you can leave like 31 and 31 like blank. So coming to 32, it talks about traveling costs. So who's going to pay and who's going to take off your travel expenses. So you can say I'm going to pay by cash, credit card. Then you have prepaid accommodation, which is compulsory, and then prepaid transport. And by the end of it, you can just say like date and sign. And then you have to print it out and get it to the visa appointment. So another document which is not necessarily mentioned in the checklist is your visa appointment letter. So when you book on VFS Global, you get an email, you get this document which you can download. So make sure at the day of the appointment you carry this document, because this is where they check, okay, this is your date when you applied, this is the timing, and then they have this reference number, and through that they make the application further. So make sure you have this document downloaded, which is not mentioned in the checklist. So coming to the next part of the checklist, which is 2 recent passport pictures. You can go to Snappy Snaps or any local near you. If you have photos which you have got back from home, which are passport size photos, you can take those as well. You need 2 of those. Then of course you need a valid passport, which is at least 3 months valid before like the end date of your travel. So for example, you're traveling in August, then September, October, November, December tak you need to have your passport valid. Then your BRP, which you need to carry. So you need to carry your original BRP and a printed copy of the front and the back side. Then you need 2 copies of your passport as well. So 2 copies of your passport, first and last page. Then 1 copy of your BRP, and here you also need the printout of. So when I say 2 copies of passports, they won't always take 2, but just have 2 in hand. It's much better, just in case something happens or something like that. Passport copy 2 is always better. Then you also need to take 1 printout of all the previous Schengen visas you have in the past 3 years. So for example, when I was applying for Italy, I did not have any Schengen in the past 3 years. But when I was applying for Spain, I had put my Italy VFS screenshot. So I've taken a picture of my passport with the visa, and I have just printed that out, basically that. So now coming to evidence of applicant's employment. So for a Schengen visa, you need to prove that you have sufficient funds, or you won't actually go and like forever live there in Europe, like you're not just running away there. So you need to either submit a document from your company saying that, okay, I am working here, and after like travel, they're going to come back and work with us, or get a letter from your university. So I'm going to show you how the letter looks like. So this is the letter I got from Times Higher Education, and you can follow this exact format, because this is what I submitted for Italy as well as Spain, the exact same thing. So for Spain, it was of course Spain Visa Application Center, but this is for Italy. So the Italy Visa Application Center and the VFS office address. Then dear visa officer, this letter is to confirm Devyani Kopat is employed as a full-time employee. Then I've also added a few details like my name, address, the company address, company contact, like who has filled this. So my HR has written this. Then my nationality, my birth date, my passport number, my job title, my date of employment when it started, salary. So these things are, everything is very important, okay, like it's required for us to write that. Then vacation days available. So during that time I had taken no vacations, so I have said no vacations. But for Spain I had like an X amount of like 10 vacation days taken or something like that, which was given. Then this is also very important. Like, I would want to travel to Italy on these dates, so which is 23rd to 25th March and 18th to 22nd April. So if you're traveling like 3 months apart, so you can say like March, May, August, or whatever it is. So whatever dates you pre-decide. So again, even for this step, you need to make sure that you have your hotels and bookings kind of sorted before, so that you can give it to the HR and you can get this. So don't make sure like you don't push it very last minute, because sometimes for HRs, like they have a lot of things to do and they might not give you a response as soon as possible. So yeah, I think keep like good amount of time before you submit. So this reference is given in confidence without la 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 la. And then this is the name of the HR who has given me this letter, and that's pretty much it. And I just printed it out and took it with me. Now coming to the student perspective, so in a similar way exactly, you also have to submit a letter which is given to you by your university, stating that okay, this person is studying at this university, we have these many days, the holiday times are these days, and we have no problem, they can travel to the UK or travel to Europe during this time, and it's all good. And also along with that, you need to put 3 months pay slips. So for example, my appointment is now in August, then I have to put July, June, and the month up before that. So let me show you how a pay slip looks like. This is a pay slip that was generated for me by Times Higher Education. So if you're a student, you do not need to worry about a pay slip. This is only if you're working at a company. So here you have like, okay, this is the payment, whatever amount I was paid, what is my tax bracket, and how much money I'm getting. So I get it for 3 months. So along with my company letter, I put in 3 pay slips. So here also on the checklist, it is given if you're self-employed, there is something different. And if you're a student, you also need a signature of your HOD. So you need to remember that. Point number 8 is if it is applicable, if you don't have enough funds or finances, if you're not working, these are what things you have to submit. So somebody, like if somebody is sponsoring you, if your father is sponsoring you back home from India, they have to provide their pay slips and all of these details, which I won't go in detail, but you can find it here. So now the next thing you have to submit is your exact itinerary. So this is one of the main, of course everything is main, but this is also one of the main documents which will actually decide how long you're going to get your visa for. So the first mistake I did when I was applying for Italy is, if you can see here, I've shown that I'm going to be traveling March end and exactly next month I'm going to be traveling April 18 to 22nd. So what they did was they gave me a visa from March 22nd to April like 25th more or less, which was like more or less 45 days. And I was like, oh my god. But for Spain, what I did was I made 3 different bookings. I made one in June, July, August, September, October. So I left like 1 month and I showed 3 different bookings. So that really helps. So if you want like a longer visa, make sure you show multiple trips, but have like good amount of duration between it. So if you want a visa, for example, for 6 months, have like maybe 1 trip here, few months here and there, then a second trip in few months, and third trip. So I was trying for a 6-month visa, but because my passport was about to expire, they only gave me a 3-month one. But now let us look at how the cover letter looks like. So for the cover letter, I'm going to show you my Spain cover letter. The Italy one was exactly the same, but it did not work out so well for me. So I'm taking this as an example, but you can just copy the format. So for me, I went too much in detail. There are some people who like, write just like 1 page, like a generic one, but I did not do that. And I think you should be as much detail oriented as you can, so that you can get a longer visa in general. So this is like the date. Then the visa officer, Embassy of London. So what is the title? Request issue of Spain tourist visa for Ms. Devyani Kopade. So this is my name, then my surname and my passport number. Dear Sir, Madam, I'm Devyani Kopade, a marketing professional at Times Higher Education, resident of London, UK. I'm writing this letter to apply for a Schengen visa to visit Barcelona from 12th to 15 June, Copenhagen from 30th July to 1st August, and finally Madrid from this date. So I haven't visited Copenhagen, I haven't visited Madrid. This was just for the visa. So actually, honestly, I wanted to visit, but plans keep on changing, and I did visit. Like I went to Portugal, I went to Spain, I went to Netherlands, Belgium, and some other places like that, but I did not go to Copenhagen and Madrid. So yeah, this is what I've written. And I've written, would be traveling alone to Copenhagen, and the main purpose of visiting is tourism and exploring the local culture. I've attached the completed application form and my recent photograph along with this letter. So visa duration, I want it for 6 months. Visa type multi-entry. So here I have, re-mentioned it again that this is what I want. So this is a brief itinerary. 12th June I'll come to Barcelona. I'll visit Barcelona. I'll go back. Then on 30th July I will come to Copenhagen, explore Copenhagen, go back. Let me just make it like single page continuous. Then for Madrid, 12th October. So I was hoping, because I'm giving these things, I will get a longer visa, at least until like October end or November, but I got it until September end. So what are the documents I have enclosed in this letter? So I have the complete Schengen application form, my passport, previous Schengen copies, biometric, bank statements, my flight detail reservations, travel health insurance, hotel, employee verification letter, and bank statements. Now I realize I've written bank statement twice, which I shouldn't have, but let's just skip through that. So now proof of sufficient funds. So I've added bank statement from these months. So I've mentioned, okay, these are the bank statements I have written. Then my previous Schengen copy, so I've said Italy, and I've also added Germany, which was 2020. So I don't know why I've added that, just for me to get like a longer visa, but actually you don't need to add if you have visas more than like 3 months prior, but just for me to show that, okay, I have been to Schengen like before, I have just added that just in case. Then I have countries I've traveled on a Schengen visa. Until then I had traveled to these countries. So that's what I have written. So now going to my itinerary more in detail. So this is nothing. I've actually asked ChatGPT to make an itinerary for me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to Barcelona. This is my entry date. This is my end date. Create an itinerary. And this is what they gave me. So I have attached written flight tickets for the trip along with this application. And then that's that. So, so basically, if you're applying to a visa office, so for example, if you're applying to Italy, only the first country matters. Okay, so I did not need to show that what I'm going to do in Copenhagen, because it's not their main country, or what I'm going to do after. So in the itinerary, only show the first country, but show it as much detail as you want. So now I have written only for this, but I haven't added anything related to Barcelona or Copenhagen. Of course, I'm attaching the booking and the flight, that is required, but not the itinerary of what things I'm going to do there, because obviously it's like in July, August, I obviously haven't planned so far ahead. So that is understandable. So along with that, the travel insurance I got, which I'm going to talk about later in this video, and additional trips. I also want to visit Sevilla and Valencia. I lived in Mexico for a year, and I've also learned Spanish. So I want to just relive the Spanish culture. And I'm very excited to visit. So please provide a 6-month visa, and then this is what you can just copy, and then my address, my phone number, and my email address. So this is like a 4-page document, which a lot of people judged me for. But the people who did not make such ones, they got barely for like 1 week. Even I know a friend who got it for like 3 days, which is so sad. So just try to be extra. It never harms you. So that is the cover letter, which I covered now. And then you also have the exam. So now coming to the round trip transport ticket booking. So you can book accommodation from booking.com and transport from something like trip.com. So if you want to book like real things, like if you really want to go to this country these exact dates, go ahead, make the bookings. Like for example, for Italy, we did it very legitly. Like we had Ryanair bookings, we had like proper Airbnb booking where we are going to stay, and then we provided the actual details. So for the next trip, we made cancelable bookings. So cancelable bookings are obviously real bookings. It's the only catch is that you can cancel it later. So let me show you how to do that. So when you again go to booking.com, and you can just say, like for example, again let's go to Mallorca. So here you can see options like free cancellation. If you can see, like not everyone has. So for example, this place does not have a free cancellation, but let's just go here. So if you can see, everything is like very expensive because this is 10 nights. I don't know why it is 10 nights, but let's just make it like 3 nights, for example. So 195. So you can find like the cheapest place possible. So let's for example take 160 pounds and there's free cancellation. So I just go here and I can see which, okay, so this is free cancellation before 30th of October. Today it is 4th of August. So I just say select and then I say I'll reserve. So when you reserve, your money is not counted, like it doesn't get cut. Sometimes it gets cut and then you get a refund after if you cancel, but if you cancel any day, even if you cancel on the 29th October, you are going to get a free refund. So make sure you have like that kind of money in your bank account so that you can make at least multiple bookings. So for example, if I'm saying that I'm going to be staying in Madrid for 2 days, so I make a booking for Madrid for 2 days. Then if I say I'm going to Valencia after, then I show a booking for Valencia for 2 days, and everything has to be downloaded and taken printouts of. So booking is all sorted. You can have multiple like cancelable things, but for flights it's a bit more tricky. So when I was applying for Italy for the flight, the cancellation was almost free. Like I paid nothing, but like I think the companies have got on that people are booking cancelable flights. So for Spain, I had to pay I think 20% of my booking fee. So if the flight was like for £100, £20 I'm just paying anyways, even though I want to get my flight cancelled. So I had to pay for like 3 fake flights. I had to pay for Copenhagen, I have to pay for like everything, and I almost spent like £200 just for like cancelable tickets, which was crazy. Like Schengen visa is just taking money from us. Like I recently applied for my Japan visa. I went to Japan this year, and the entire visa was for like £20 literally, and sitting at home, like you just upload things online, it's all done. But Schengen is just like taking money and not even giving like long visas, which I think is a scam. But let me show you how the bookings look like overall. So let's go there. So let's see, like Airbnb, we have like printed this out and you take this. This is the receipt from Airbnb. And then I also had like Milan hotel copy. So when you have like book via booking.com, you get an email to download this form. So you just go there, you can just download it and you can print it and take it with you. So they definitely do check all the dates, like okay, you are entering on this date, you have accommodation this date, this date, this date. Okay, you are flying out on this date, do you have a flight booked on that day? So this is very important, and make sure you do it like really well, because yeah, that does count. So coming to the flight details again, we did it via trip.com. So this was the reference code. So we did it via Wizz Air. And then, yeah, this was just like what we printed out. And then I took at the VFS office, and that's pretty much it. But like when I was at the VFS office, sorry, it's a lot of information, I know. So, but for trip.com, like when you're booking the flights, I was asked to go out and actually like go on the Wizz Air website and verify my booking. So I had to go on Wizz Air, put in my ticket number, and generate another form which I had to submit again, which to prove. But my roommates submitted the exact same document and they did not have to get anything from Wizz Air. So I think it just depends. But for Spain, nobody asked me anything. So it totally depends. But I think this is more than enough. If they in case ask you that they want any more documents or something is not there, there is a printing office, like printing place just outside the VFS Global Center. You can just go down, you can just take a printout and you can bring it back. But just to be safe, might as well go to like the actual website like Wizz Air and download and the actual like Wizz Air copy as well. But totally depends. So yeah, so when you have all of the proper itinerary, the proper booking of what day you're coming in, what day you're coming out, so make sure that you also note it down somewhere for yourself, because sometimes like you have prepaid and you forget to cancel, then your money is gone. Like there is no way you're gonna get it back. So make sure that before, like as soon as you get your visa, you can like cancel everything you don't want or something like that, if that makes sense. So now coming to the next part of the so booking accommodation, that is all done. So coming to the medical insurance, if you have a good medical insurance, it is said that you get a longer visa. So I personally booked it, like I got my medical insurance from Allianz Assistance, and I think I paid like 42 or 45 pounds for the entire year across Europe. But there is a brand called CoverWise, which is so much cheaper and same thing. I did not know about this. So you can do it via CoverWise. Nothing is sponsored, just to help you out. So you have to take this, like the medical insurance certificate, and you just have to print it out where you have your policy number, transaction number, and you also have to take it to your appointment as well. So coming about the economic situation, so before your appointment, 3 months before, you have to take out printouts of your bank statement. So if, for example, I had an account in HSBC, all I did was just download like 3 statements, and that's pretty much it. I took out printouts of that and took them with me. And if it's minors applying, then those are the different things. Then other than that, that's pretty much it. Then the date, the signature, and this is what you also print out and take. So what I personally did was I created a folder like this, which has all the details together. Like, okay, I created a checklist, I've added it here, the bank statements, the passport and everything. And then I just merged them all together in a PDF and took a printout together and just took everything. And as soon as I got my visa, I cancelled everything I did not want to and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now coming to the day of the visa appointment for Italy, it took me slightly longer than BLS Spain. So I had to Italy, I just go with my appointment letter, which I had mentioned in the very beginning, the first page. And then I just go, and I was standing in the line for like maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I was called inside. Then I was taken in the top floor and I was given a coupon number. So the entire process took me like 2.5 hours-ish, because I had to go back out again and I have to take a printout for the Visa thing and go back. They were like fine. They were not too kind, but not too like rude as well. So you have 2 options for your passport. You can either collect it in person or you can deliver it at home. So I took the deliver it at home option, which was £30, and the visa fees, which is again like what, 150-ish pounds. For BLS, there was no option for me to collect it in person. The only option I had is to mail it at home, which was again £30 extra. So the visa fees were pretty much the same, like not much discrepancy in that. But yeah, for me, the Spain visa was much more better. Like it was much more efficient, and like there was a proper process which was followed. So BLS, I had a great experience, but BLS was just a bit like okayish. Like the room was fine, but overall nothing too bad. Like it was all smooth. Even at there, they ask you relevant questions. Okay, like when are you going? Why are you going? What is your return date? What is your purpose of visit? Where do you work? They might ask you questions like that, so just be ready, because you have all the documents anyways. You can say like, okay, I work at this company, I have the company letter as well, and you can just, you know, according to the checklist, have everything organized really well, so that okay, this is the first point, they got the document. So don't make it very chaotic. It should be as easy as it gets. I personally had stuck a photo on my visa application form, but if you have not, they have a glue right there, they do it themselves, so that's also very chill. So now talking about the visa processing for Italy, it took me I think 14 days to get my visa, which was quite long, but for Spain I got it within 4 days. So the processing timing was also very good with Spain. I think Spain was like much better. Like if you get a chance, try to apply with BLS Spain, which is much better than this one, like with VFS. And the website also keeps on crashing for VFS, which is also very annoying. Just in case you cannot find an appointment and you desperately want to go somewhere, Spain also has a thing called walk-in appointment. So you go really early in the morning with all of your documents ready, and you stay in line, and they have like an appointment line and like a premium line. So the ones who have come for a direct walk-in appointment also obviously have to pay premium, which is I think, I don't know, like maybe 100-200 pounds more. I'm not exactly sure of the price, but that is also available if appointments are there. So basically you come and you just wait in line, and if everybody is done, and if there are some slots available, like if there is some chance of you to get it, people get a walk-in appointment, they pay premium, and they do get a visa eventually. So that is another option you need to consider. So yeah, this was the process for a Schengen visa. I hope you get a really long, nice one. I've heard countries like Netherlands and France give it for 1 year. So try applying to those countries, and Scandinavian countries give it for a shorter duration of time. So try avoid going to like Norway, Sweden, Denmark. They give it for a shorter amount of time. So you need to consider like bigger the country, like more powerful the country, the longer visa they might give. So maybe like Liechtenstein or things like that might give like a more smaller visa comparatively. So try to target these kind of countries. But yeah, this is it from my side. But before I end the video, let me take a minute to talk to you about this video sponsor, which is Amber Student. So if you're a student who is planning to come to the UK to do the bachelor's or master's degree and you still haven't booked an accommodation, this video is just for you. Check out Amber Student. I've added the link in the description box below. So they are a provider which have like thousands of accommodations under their brand name. So all you have to do is like go there, find out, do your own research, and just register. You can inquire, and somebody from Amber is going to call you, ask for your details, your requirements and things like that, and then help you find the most perfect accommodation for you. So it's going to be easy, awesome. So make sure you use the link in the description box below. And that's pretty much it from my side. Thank you so much for watching, and all the best for your visa journey. Bye.